Oh my gosh, guys, I'm about to cry right now. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and this is ATEEZ's Crazy Form Dance Practice. I cannot tell you how quickly I got out of my bed. I was about to go to bed, to sleep, and I get a notification on my phone, dance practice has been launched. It's been about 5 minutes since this just got released. I hopped out, I sat here, put on my glasses, and we're here. We're gonna take a watch. Very excited. I've been actively reacting to ATEEZ as a marathon, and I think I've just finished reacting to Wonderland at the time that I'm watching this. So anything from after Wonderland until their newest stuff, which is this, I have not seen. So this is going to be a very different jump for me, and I cannot wait. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch. Oh look, they said get up. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so needed right now. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love this so much. This is everything I wanted Wonderland to be. Oh my god. Ugh. Oh my yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm about to cry right now. Okay, let me explain something real quick. So, the most recent marathon one that I just reacted and analyzed to was Wonderland. And I low-key go in on it because there's so many missed opportunities to use their backup dancers, to give them a break. Do you see how long this track is? This is like an average length of an ATEEZ track. And then the fact that we got to see the dancers utilized, we got to see them be able to look clean, but individualized. We see levels, we see variety of style, we see complexity mixed in with breathability and digestibility. It's, oh my gosh. Oh, the timing cannot be more appropriate, because you know, some people are like, Jess, oh, I wish that you waited and you got to this one last. No, I'm so thankful I'm watching it right after watching Wonderland, because every single thing that I talked about in Wonderland was fixed right here. And I know there's going to be other moments that we see, but the fact that they have backup dancers that did the exact thing that I chewed out the person who choreographed this, I low-key went in on him about that. And also too, like, that's just a complete side thing, and we won't get into that. And then whenever Wonderland gets released, you'll understand what I'm talking about. There is low-key a chance I may release that one while I release this one, just so you understand how I feel right now, because I just reacted to Wonderland. And there wasn't anything wrong with that choreography, but this was such a validation and encouragement for me that I needed to see this, so it helped me appreciate their journey more. Because I knew we were gonna get to this place, but thank God, man, I needed that. I needed this way more than I realized until I just watched it. Before I get into the choreography, I'm actually going to watch the music video, because I think that's going to really help me understand the context of the overall aesthetic of what this was supposed to be. Because I hadn't had many opportunities to see their music videos. I don't think I've seen any music video of ATEEZ, so I think this is no time like the present. So I'm about to watch it. It may show up on YouTube, but it will be on Patreon for sure. I know sometimes with copyright, it'll catch it. Complete side note though, ATEEZ is one of the only groups that I've ever reacted to on my channel that will let me monetize part, and we do a share revenue. So I actually, I receive support on my channel from their videos. I am eligible for monetization with their stuff. So we support ATEEZ from a monetary thing when it comes to, like, they low-key give with people when it comes to revenue on stuff. So let's go and watch the music video.
Get up. Get up. Get up.
Well, that's giving a little bit of a come back home 21 vibes for me in the best way. Hey. Ooh. Hey. Black Pirates break into the lounge. I've seen Pirate King already, so I know that little Easter egg right there. Even Sonic got the point. That was good. What a meme. Yeah. Wow. cinematography editing on this is wild. Yeah. Yay. I will say that particular venue, this right here, it's reading, how they set up the beginning is reading very Songgong music video. But it's not the same thing. I'm not saying that. It's giving similar in the production and how they edited it, and having the venue in the back and having the people on the sides. But I know it's different, but I'm just referencing that. Yeah, and they also filmed it, like a lot of the camera zoom-ins and stuff do remind me of, because I have very limited music video experience compared to choreography. So because I had just recently, probably within the past month, I had reacted to Songgong from 17, that kind of venue and the structure of having so many people, that does relate a little bit more recent to me than most people who saw it in real time back in March of 2023, right? So I'm not saying at all that this is like, oh, they copied. No, I'm just saying, like, with how they also shot it, the camera work on it too does remind me a little bit of that, but I'm really glad they cut to more of like these pedestrian moments. I think was really cool. This was cool just to see them all in different kind of vibes and stuff. I still freaking love the dance practice more, but for me, I get to, like, I'm saying the same thing that I said about Songgong, is I appreciate the artistry of the choreography because you can see it in its entirety, and it's a one take. So we're gonna now go back to the choreography video and let's talk about it. Okay, so from the beginning here, now that I think if they calm down a little bit, I'm definitely ready to take a look. I love the fact we have, at this time, I have not seen ATEEZ work with female dancers. So this is really cool to see males and females represented. I'm always a fan of just different, working with different types of dancers. I think is really fun. He turns around, he goes, hits, has a little moment here. I love that. Get up, turn around, boom, get up. Get up. Really nice seeing that here too. There's a chance I'm gonna have to 0.75 it. It's long, but I think it's worth it. Okay, so dropping down here, buckle up, guys. This whole groove right here, the transition, I absolutely love it. That's something that's very captivating. Great usage of dancers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have about 8 members of ATEEZ, right? And I think they frame really, really well. God, it's gorgeous. And then having your dancers dance with them the whole time. Now, are all of the dancers dancing the whole time? No. Is ATEEZ dancing the whole time? No. This is a really healthy example of exactly what I wanted to see from Wonderland that I did not get. We had, it's a whole thing. You can go take a look. There's very rarely do I get a bit frustrated when I'm looking at a dance practice, and that was one of the few. But of course, there was a lot of really good moments, but there was still some very important things I was touching on that we get to appreciate here. So these kind of go hand in hand as like the polar opposites of what I was hoping for on my journey, and I got it. Here we go. So from here, having this energy, the percussion, that da-da-da-da-da-da-da, really hits that marching band aesthetic, but it has that really great pocket, more of a, not gorilla, but like an animalistic crump kind of heaviness about it. But I also know with San specifically, and he's in the center for this, which is a really great choice, I know that a lot of them, you can tell that they're sinking into a lot of the breathability of the grooves, which is exactly what I was waiting on, because I had made that a big note. Back in the earlier eras that I was reacting to, because I've seen their pre-debut up until Wonderland. And a really big thing that I noticed more on the recent side is they, at that time, had this puppy energy where they have so much energy, and they still do, but they have way more refinement and maturity within it. They're like matured, what's the word? You know how like sometimes the puppy energy, now we're back to just we're good, you know? That's where they're at. And I love it because they know how to control this energy and the push and pull, the breathability of the power that they have. They are one of the most powerful performers out of most groups that I've reacted to, hands down, by a large margin. Their power and their movement is so aggressively extroverted, but in their earlier stuff, it wasn't as refined or controlled. And that's why some of their movements and some of their choreographies seem to have a couple of really major discrepancies in the cleanliness or some of the overall movement to music collaboration with that stuff. So that's just my overall little note. That's kind of like a little synopsis of some things you would react or like you would be seeing in my analysis of my marathon. Having this right here, it goes da 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 da, boom and boom. The commitment with the head. Look at the angles; it's really nice. I would say it's just working on the angle ever so slightly, but a really great range for everybody. Pulling it down, boom. Here, notice that we have it, and we turn one of our arms into a polyrhythmic moment while we're still carrying the group. I love moments like that because it shows that you're really diving in and you're paying tribute to the track. You're not getting rid of any groove. You're adding on, or you're creating a different polyrhythm to justify whatever adjustments happen in your track. I love this. They pull it down, boom, boom. God, I love that. And then having your dancers create levels to help with ATEEZ. That was another big thing that's a huge issue I noticed in some of their stuff, was we weren't using levels to help enhance the numbers we have. And this is what we get to see here. I'm going to just really try to not get emotional about it because that really took me to a place when I realized that here. That pull, boom, right there, boom. I love that imagery. I caught it now because we do have that kind of imagery for some of the music video, which is cool. That right there, that is a butterfly, or it's called a happy feet. That's an Afro move. I really like seeing it here. It works well in the overall aesthetic. And they drop it down, boom, boom, boom. I love that. Picking it up. Look at the energy. Boom, boom. With the usage of the hip, it's groovy. It has breath. It's powerful, but it does look like, it's not like they're holding back, but they are being purposeful and intentional about how much energy they're putting in. They are calculated in the energy output. And I freaking love this. I needed to see this so freaking bad. And now I get it. And I am a kid in a candy store talking about this. Rain it through right there, with the pop out of the leg. Great choice in the hinging, and my dancers are doing a great job. They all match energy, and this is another element I was talking about. Give your members a break. When you have dancers, use them. I talked about Don Quixote by 17 as an example during my time when I had really talked about this. But looking like, it's a good example. Use your dancers to your advantage. Not all the dancers are used the whole time. If anything, they're helping with the setup. People get a break. This is a long track. Let them have a break so they can really perform when they need to perform. And you're still going to entertain, and it's still going to be something enjoyable for us. You know, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and it's really nice to see people be utilized effectively. It's great. And he's still featured. Great. Right there. Boom, da-da-da, boom. And then we bring it up. I love it. The unison here doesn't bother me nearly as much because we already showcased dynamics, levels, and textures throughout the entire beginning that help me appreciate the unison when we have it. And that's another thing. Whenever you have too much unison, it's hard for me to appreciate it in comparison to whenever it's a moment of unison. It helps me see it and I digest the information. I appreciate it. And that's when synchronicity really matters in unison, because it helps you see and it captivates in a different way in comparison to a visual or an illusion or a lift or things of the like. Now, where they broke away, really nice. Love this. You notice they traveled down to create and establish your level, even though they're all the way in the back. I know exactly who I needed to look at. I really like the usage of this because I know we saw it in the music video. Really great to see that here. That was cool. And he goes, boom, boom, do, do, do. Because he has a prop in his hand, because I had made this a note, a lot of times when ATEEZ chooses to have a member in the center and people surrounding, because they're all similar height and they all hit the same level, it's hard to catch your feature. The reason why this works is because of the prop that he has and how they set it up from high to low. Very intentional. The spacing is great. Also, it's not all of ATEEZ. There's different people here. And we just had something very different happen before to curtain reveal what we see here. That right there too. He's still down. Boom, boom, boom. Really great. They're catching the beat so he can focus on doing what he needs to do, which is performing. Dropping it down. Boom, do. Look, we're having levels. Do what you gotta do. I love that. I think that looked like a little thread through, I think is what that was. Pushing it back. Oh, so they just pressed up, which I really like. They set it up right there. Da, 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 da. I love the build up, which is really nice. It's not too aggressive, but it's building up effectively. Well, that's the thing. That's something that ATEEZ, I've already noticed, they are very good at. They know how to, when it comes to a track like this, where it's so in your face, they know how to carry it. And that is something not a lot of groups can, that's not their niche. Does that make sense? Other groups' niches are like, some groups have more of a theatrical approach, some have a more refined stoic approach, some of them have a more sensual approach. For them, they have because they have so much energy and power in their presence, just in their dance practices, it really translates well to this type of concept because they can go for it and they can actually match the overall bases that are there, the heaviness of the timbres and the tonal colors that come with a track like this, and just the build with the percussions. They have the ability to do that. And knowing now that we have this extra level of maturity and refinement as a group, and I know they've been working with some of these people for a while now, chef's kiss. I love it. I love that switch over, and then notice that we have three of them transition over to the side and then having them over here. My one note is just in the transitions with those who are not featured at the moment. I know a lot of this is hidden. Just my note, because we're seeing this, is because we have this wide shot. Everyone, regardless if you're seen or not, you are seen. So it is better to not do anything crazy or to walk or be close to a focal point. So it helps me really know what you as an artist or as a group want me to look at, you know, because right now I am seeing a little bit of action happening over here. I know they're not who needs to be featured. I'm still supposed to be watching what's happening here and here. So that's just an in general just reference of whenever you do operate and you work in big settings like this, it just helps to make sure that there's more structure behind your transitions into who's doing what. But this just feels like a dance practice. Feels like a run through because I got the bibs on. So I'm not really, right now I don't really care about that. I'm just so freaking happy I get to take a look at this from ATEEZ because it's just, oh my God, this is so good. Okay. I love that moment there. Boom, 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 dropping it down. He's using his hand over here to trigger that. You see how far away it is, but it's still clear enough for me to see that. I absolutely love that choice. They pull it through, boom, boom, and I love the accent with the hips on the bass. God, it's so good. He's still having his moment. He goes, he takes it, boom, here, resetting it up. Now having the rest of, I think this is the rest of ATEEZ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's interesting he's the only one in blue. I mean, I don't mind it. It's cool, you know. But now he goes, he slides it. Now we have our moment with another feature, having them all ride it over. Look how much more refined they are together. Love it. Even here, boom, boom, boom. I think some of them didn't quite get their hands up at the exact same time, but this out was really nice. Even how they're rocking is very similar, and that's something that we noticed in the beginning of some of their pre-debut stuff, is that some of them didn't quite have that comfortable rock and bounce about some of the content, but some of them did, and so that's why that naturally is not going to look as clean. But now all of them have fingerprints of movement quality with each other because they're all exposed to very similar circumstances over the years. That naturally happens. That's why you get groups who have been together for years, just like soccer teams or teams that have been working together for a very, very long time. You are going to naturally see more collaborative mindsets as well as physicality involved in that. So I absolutely love it. Him having his moment was really nice. Notice having somebody else reset right there. There's your moment. He now breaks away. Having both of them go to the sides really helps the visual. Now we have a new visual. Bring that da 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 da. Really nice. He goes the opposite way. Really great way for us to keep him featured even though they're all on the same level. That's great. Now right there. I love that where they go lower. Yeah, right there. Da, ba, da, da. That was really nice. It's still building. Looks great. I don't know if they're singing this live. If they are, I'm very mad impressed. It looks like there's a chance that they are. That these are wireless mics. Who knows? I'm impressed nonetheless, even if they aren't. But if they are, even more so. And it makes me appreciate this a lot. And they hit it. We go. Boom. 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Yeah. 1, 2. Then da da boom. So you notice that they're like hitting it. They're not hitting on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going 1, da 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 da, boom. Like it matches so well on the drop, and it just feels so relaxed, laid back, but like they are hitting it where they want to hit it, and I absolutely love this. Yeah, da 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 da. Notice that they all frame towards the inside, but they expanded out, creating more space, making it a more full formation. I love it. All of them having their own moment. Notice you have two of them on the outside have a moment more up. He also has a moment up. They also frame towards the inside, I think, and then they expand up. Let me go back just to make sure that is what happened. Yeah, so they go down, up, love that they're going up. Great usage of levels, guys. I love this. Yes, now boom, boom, and then they hit with the bass. Honestly, it's quite incredible how much there's a reverb and how they hit basses with their hips. You don't see that as often, like boom, like having that effect where I can see it from the back of the freaking room is very impressive. It doesn't surprise me because it is ATEEZ, but it does what surprises me is just the fact that all of them do it on the same level of power. That's really cool. But notice that even boom, 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 it's isolated. And that's what makes it really cool. Even though it's such an intricate, where it's more isolated in the wrist, that boom, 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 boom. Good God, this is cool. I see why this was a challenge. Like, this is a freaking great challenge. If people did this, oh my God, I kind of want to learn this, not gonna lie. I'll probably put a poll out on Patreon and I just vote for this one because I kind of want to learn it. But this is really nice. I like having this more like where you got bum, 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 then we have something more chill. Then we bring it up, making it more extroverted and more full. Yes to that. Then we dip it. It's more, you're more just chill. And that's another example. I know they don't really do that kind of groove well together in their earlier stuff. So that shows the maturity of movement right there already. They do a little kick, then it's nice and reserved, and then da-da-da. Really great on the quick on the feet on that. Da-da, pull resistance. Yes to that. Love seeing resistance. And they pull around, get ready to pop up. Now, some of this isn't quite as in sync as I think it could be. It could really strive to have more synchronicity, so we really appreciate the dynamics. But they caught me at a great time. I'm accepting this very, very well. I mean, I think this is freaking great anyway, but I'm like, have this extra emotional, excitement because everything that I've been wanting and waiting for, I get all in. It feels like Christmas Day for me right here. That's why it's really fun to do the marathons, is that just going from the beginning and then going through a huge chunk and then watching a random comeback. Golly, it's just so fun. It's so different too. I love the little like rolling, like little bowling ball effect right there. They all have that moment on the side. Now, they all walk away. Totally fine if that's what they choose to do. I mean, if they all walked at the same, like, took the same steps, it would have really made it look super refined and cool, but I don't really care about that as much. This is a nice little reveal that we see here. Right there. Boom! Yeah, that was cool. And they go and they switch June, and then they bring it more forward. And they all have little moments. I really like the fact that we had more individual freedom from our dancers, and it was really nice to see our feature. They all match a very similar level of energy. That's always a really good sign. You don't want one to obviously be more energy or less energy than the other. It's nice to be cohesive. I think that was a little Harlem shake that we saw there. Yeah, it was a nice little Harlem shake, and then they dig a little bit deeper. Notice that they rock back as they do this groove. That blah, da, da, da. I really like that. That was nice. It's like it's spicy but groovy and laid back, and it's just a very different pocket than what I'm used to seeing them do, and I love it. Yeah, that da, 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 and then back down. Yeah, boom, ch, boom, ch. I really like how they're hitting it with the hips, but they're choosing different ways to set up with the upper body. It's fun. It's a really nice way to tie together all of your different sections, but still hit that bass the way that they want to hit it, and I love it. Dropping this down was really nice. The energy, that was nice. Having a baby moment right there, and then having it build out. But they go, then they turn, and then having your dancers frame out your group of four, still allowing breaks for everybody else. This was a nice illusion where they step. You low-key turn your arms into a fixed point just for a little bit of that, and that's what creates this illusion that your body's moving, but your hands are still. So that was a cool choice. That sends me. You couldn't see that in the music video. That's the kind of stuff that makes me appreciate the dance practice more, because when you see them like really pop off, that That's just, I mean, you can't fake that kind of vibe sometimes, you know. Sometimes the camera can do too much. I think the music video looks freaking cool, but I think with the dance practice, I'm able to really enjoy and vibe with them, with the choreography itself, because this is the way that the choreography is supposed to be done, with the integrity maintained throughout the entire one take. It's a one take. Yes to this. I love it. And then they bring it around. And then we hit it down. Boom, boom, boom. Notice instead of their feet separated, they have it together. And then from here, they don't have it separated, they have it boom, boom, pressing. So it's another example. That's great. Then you have those 4 walk away. Then you have your new feature over on the side. And then he goes, he has his gun, he goes and he turns. Then you have your 4, having everybody go and they slide down to the side. So really it's just my one note. I think we could definitely clean up how we get on and off in our groups, but I really like the groups as groups. I think that's just my big thing. If we're looking at the whole package, if their transitions were cleaner, I think that would have sent this to the next level for sure. But also I'm going to chalk it up to the type of, you know, the type of situation we're in, what kind of rehearsal this is. I'm not going to be super picky about that. I like the energy, that boom, da, da, da. So they're doing a good job of switching between the textures, between having something really hard hitting and then switching up the dynamic to do a little speed change, add more tension, more resistance as they go from high to low. So good. That was really nice. Da, 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 da. That was great. Love it. The kick on the heel. So it's interesting, instead of going to tap, tap with the heels, because normally I'm used to seeing it there. They go boom, boom. Very staccato, but full. They come in and they slide and slide. Well, notice some of our dancers are spacing just a little off on the left side, but I really like how they hit this boom here, up and over. Notice they have that little reverb coming in and up, registering that bass, carrying it all the way over, which is what makes that move a good choice. Then notice this is the hips, the bass is on the hips. So instead of hitting here, he goes boom, boom. Still has his moment. Great feature. Yep, there you go, and boom, boom, da da da. So they just have really great interruptions, but still maintain the groove, and that shows fluency of polyrhythms within the style that you're wanting to pursue. Love that. That's a polyrhythm. It goes here, da da da. You know, it's just there's just beauty in that, and it looks simple, but it's not simple because you have to train in the fundamentals and get your body familiar with the muscle memory in order for you to stack it. You have to have a strong foundation in order for the bricks to lay correctly, and I think that we really get to see that here. That was a nice little use it. They go up, he goes down. Great choice, so they can transition, but it's still a moment and he's still framed, even though we have 2 other guys over here. This was nice. So he goes and they walk off. Now having our 2 right here. But da da da. So I feel like we could have done a little better job of having this upper body a little bit more refined with each other, collaborative with each other. That right there. I think it was the angle, actually. So I think they did the same thing, but I would say one of them, I think that's San. San is more facing side profile, so his arms are going to look different than the corner. And that would just be like just clarifying your angles. Having people walk out, still my overall note for that. But that was a lot cleaner, and that's why I say it's just an angle thing, because their synchronicity is definitely improved, and you can see how they're riding even down to the chest and how the chest is scooping throughout that groove. That's freaking great. Have that moment. That was nice. Da da da. Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah. And then with the groove right there. Da, 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 da. This just feels like a whole vibe and a half, I tell you what. Even though it's probably a lot of energy that is exerted for this, God, it must be really fun to just do. It just looks fun to do. Yeah. Don't just, we go, boom, here we go. I think we just got ATEEZ. So honestly, this is the exact opposite format of their Wonderland set. Wonderland set, their verses, they were by themselves, and then in the chorus, they had their dancers. Here's the opposite. They have their dancers in the verses, and they have them in the choruses, which is the exact thing that I recommended that they try to do, which is have more, like, do better about integrating your dancers and putting them all throughout. Don't just have them there for your opener and then drop them off and then just dance as a group. Don't have your backup dancers if you're not going to use them. Use them, and they use them. And I wasn't talking about ATEEZ, I was talking about the choreography team at the time, but I love that swing, the boom boom. This is really hard to do when they're doing more of that legato with the swipe of the foot freaking sick on that. They take the upper body, they swing it side to side, but also they have their hands kind of having their own technique to have to justify. So this is a really tricky one to get right. They do a good job, just some refinement, but notice they're all still here except for one of them. But it looks like that was a feature moment. That's a great example of being stable really helps you know who your feature is. And this right here, this freeze frame proves the importance of that. I love being able to just very obviously see who's my feature, even if it's just for a second, having everybody else be stoic and still, and then when they join in, That's freaking great. I love it. I would just say my guy right here, he has the mic in his hand, so it could affect that, but I would say his arm is a little bit too high whenever it's supposed to be a little bit low, and all of them were doing the same thing. And because he's right next to the one that was just featured, that's why I caught it. But if he was in the back, I wouldn't have noticed it. It looks like they're trying to do a backslide here. I think some of them do a really good job showcasing that. Others are just kind of stepping back. Great modification. Not a super big thing here. Great usage of their space. I mean, I would say their formation looks great. We do have a bit of a spacing thing here, so that would just be my note. Unless they're setting up for something else, I think that's fine. Yeah, then they fix it. Very nice right here. Great angles. Now we got the basket runs. I always say something about the basket runs, but a basket run here is an improvement from what we've been seeing, which is just the walking off and walking on. So I'll take that sense of refinement. That section, boom, boom, boom. And then you also see some of them poke their head forward and hide. I saw that's so cool. And they kick it over. Boom, da-da-do. I love that. Boom, boom. And then they throw, and then it's like a peel down that's all the way down. Whee! That's great. Love the use of dynamics here. And they go, boom, body roll, super huge there. Then notice that they were here, and then they open the hands to make it feel more full, and it's raising the energy. Yeah, do you notice that? That's so cool. And then they go and they bring it back, ready for the next feature. Love that here. Yes, let's go. I love that they go down. Boom, notice that your dancers go away. You allow ATEEZ to frame each other, draping that arm down, and then bringing it to the outside, allowing your main guy, look at this. Look at the framing. Yes. This is everything I ever wanted. Okay. So look at the levels. Look at the angle. Look how clean this is. And then look at the transitions. They're doing such a good job. Yay for collaboration. I've been needing this. I will say my one little note though was one of them was able to thread through and the other one wasn't. They had to go around. So that's just a you know, just the circumstance. Yeah, so she didn't go through, she just went around. So I wonder if it was either, honestly, if they went through, that would have looked cool, but also I get it. So that's just my one little note for my dancers. But they set up in the front. This is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They got 10 and they've got 8, so it's 18 people. That's great. 18 is a great number, and they use it. I love that. Bring down and notice that you have your dancers in the front. They get to have their moment. Guess who's taking care of the dance break? Like I said, have dancers do their job, which is dance. They get to do their job and dance. This is the when I say a complete 180 to what I was talking about in Wonderland, it is a complete understatement. This is absolutely what I needed to see today. I love this here. And they go da-da-da, da-da-da. Yes, with the Afro influence. I love it. I do feel like whenever we do it, some of us need to refine our hands on this, especially if we're doing the unison and we're transitioning. You want to try to get as much details in check as possible. It'll help with the refinement of the frame that you're trying to do. I love the fact that they're not doing anything. It's 2 minutes and 44 seconds and we've seen them dance. You know, like I know they can hold it down. I love the moment that our dancers get to shine. We get to see them have their moment, and it's symmetrical. Bless it. I love it. Bringing it down. I love this right here. I do feel like some of them could have really rocked down a little bit more. That would have really carried more. I do like how this dancer did that moment specifically, and I noticed that some of them were doing that. That's just fun. I love it. Boom. Really nice choice. Notice that some of them in the ATEEZ in the back, they have their arms up. Super fun. That's like a Brooklyn top rock. Boom, boom, boom. I love it. I know this is, what is it? Is this a breaking crew? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Give me the information. Give me the details. I want to know all about it. Mwah, and I cannot wait. Also, let me know. I have a feeling this is the same. They've been working with these people for a long time. At this point, tell me when they start getting introduced or integrated so I can kind of refine or understand where I am in the eras. Because right now I'm at Wonderland. I still have a couple more until I feel like I've transitioned into a new era. I don't know. I'm still pre-2020, if that makes sense. So I don't know any of that. So let me know what kind of eras I need to look forward to, because I know I still got quite a few more to get through, but I needed to see this. This is freaking gorgeous. I really needed this. Notice what they're doing. So I think I had to talk about this separately. So notice what they're doing at the top. I love that they're up, great levels. They're still hanging out back here, living their best life. We know who ATEEZ is. They're doing great. And then we have our guys on the outside. What are they actually doing? Let me see. Brooklyn Top Rock, they go out. Ooh, they go and they kick and they kick. Really great accent, but they're not mirroring. They're doing the same thing. They bring and they kind of take their leg and they swivel it around. That's cool. Then they come up. Really great. Full and stable. The pull and pull. Yes. Boom, do-do-do. I love that. Do-do-do, do-do-do. And notice that instead of everybody going the same way, they're going do-do-do and then they go do-do-do. I love it. They're framing towards the inside. They walk. This is clear. Sometimes people don't realize it's what sometimes the simplest things when you transition or who you transition with, some people can get mixed up on it. They had to establish, okay, this side has to make sure they're behind the line that's equivalent to them, and so when they run off, they have to run off in the same windows, and it works out. I love it. They're here. They go off. Now it's time for ATEEZ. They caught a little breather. They have their moment. They got to sing, and now they get to pop off at the end. Over there, boom, hit. I will say how they set it up. Boom, making sure they all set up at the same time, bringing it around and finishing at the same time. Just the range is a little off, but I love the energy. They're maintaining the energy, and that's really good. And they're dropping it down, do right there into a little network right there. So we're seeing a lot of Afro influence in this. Tapping it through. I love that. Do. I love that. Instead of going up to down, they're going down to up. Building. Yes to that. Golly, do you see the head isolation he's doing? That's what makes that so captivating, because he's in the center. That's why it works. So notice, look, do. He's the one looking boo do. So he's matching that boom with the happy feet. So it's low-key polyrhythmic. I love it. And then he builds it up. He's still facing the front. Everybody builds the arms up. Helps maintain feature in the center. Yep, I would say the arms need to be just a little bit more refined here. That would have made that really pop off. But are they framing? Hold on. Yeah, so that's just with everybody, including my dancers. Be very clear on the full extremity of the angle that you're going for. That part would have been super crispy, just like how they built up the arms. Look how nice this is. God, that's gorgeous. They pop. This could have been a lot cleaner. Boom, 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 boom. But it's still really nice. It still maintains energy, and that's really important for this. They go, they approach forward, they kick with the feet. I love that. Da. Yeah. Yes, and they hit, boom, right there with the hips again. Now all the dancers are off. They're like, thank God we're done. Now they're finishing up. They're here. So notice, I mean, we have them here. My one note is having some sense of we feel like we have a little gap right here. I know we have all of our members, right? Yeah, because there's 8. And so I've just had him move up just a little bit. And then having him where he is, I think is fine. Yeah, if he just moved up a little bit, I think that would have been framed beautifully. But guys, I'm going to say it. I mean, I've already said it once. I'm going to say it again. I really needed to see this at the time that I saw it. Part of me, of course, as I was reacting to the marathon, I was like, I wonder if I'm able to get through all of them before Crazy Form. What a finale. But after, I mean, I had a couple routines as of recent that I really felt like there were more things constructive than positive, and it was really bogging me down a little bit because I felt bad about, man, I really want to, and a lot of it is not ATEEZ at all that I was talking about. I was talking about other facets, but there's a whole thing with that I already disclosed in those videos. But this is very timely for me doing this marathon. Does that make sense? Because this brings this breath of life and motivation for me to really be able to have a proper comparison of their current work to what we're seeing on their journey, so I can properly pinpoint, just like what I was saying here with Crazy Form, that there's such a 180 to Wonderland on very similar framework, similar dynamic choices, similar type of usage of backup dancers. There's a lot of parallels, but they're so different. Now, all of what I was saying about Wonderland doesn't mean it was bad. None of their stuff is bad. I would just say that was one of the most constructive analysis that I have given about ATEEZ in general. I think it was the most constructive so far, because there was a lot of factors happening in it that I was disclosed about, as well as there's some personal stuff with one of the choreographers, and it's a whole thing. And so I do go through all of it, and I do my best to try to justify or articulate where I would feel I'm being subjective about it, where I'm being objective about it, some of my very passionate issues I find with it, and things of the like. But all that to say, I got very emotional watching this because of that premise. So I'm still thinking about it. There is a chance I may just let Wonderland out in the world around the time that I release this, because I'm going to be releasing this in the early morning. This will be released before I wake up, I'll put it that way. And I may release Wonderland at the same time, I don't know. But if so, just know that I just came from watching that. And you saw, and if you watched that one before watching this one, you'll see kind of how desperate I was to find a performance that really helped me have a more positive viewpoint on some of the key discrepancies I was noticing throughout the entirety of the piece. And a lot of it had nothing to do with ATEEZ. So I do want to make that clear. It does not have anything to do with ATEEZ. But all that to say, this was awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more ATEEZ, I am actively at this point in time reacting to ATEEZ, and as you've heard me in the entire thing, you know exactly which one I finished with. And so over the next couple, probably in about, I'll have it done within the next week, I think, at the time that this gets released. So you can join Patreon and see in real time what's going down. I'm also actively reacting to XG. They'll probably get done around the same time, in about a week or so. And I also have done over 70 reactions to 17 at this point. I've reacted to their entire catalog. So I'm very familiar with a lot of K-pop analysis at this point. And so it's really, really fun to be able to catch the comebacks as they happen and release some older reactions into the wild. I think it's really enjoyable. But like I've already said, I have dance content, everything like that. I have that on YouTube, like you may see, but also I have a slew of it all over Patreon. Some things that are copyrighted that can never make its way to YouTube. But all that to say, thank you guys again for watching, and I love getting to discuss and dive and just have the time of my life with you guys in the comments on these things. And I'm definitely looking forward to the discussions for this and the comparisons and that kind of stuff, especially from those who have been part of the fan base for ATEEZ for a while. I always really like learning other perspectives of things that I may not be aware of at the time of analyzing, so I want to grow in this too. So I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.